Since filming this video, the NHS has been dealing with COVID-19. You won't see social distancing here, but you will hear about the fantastic strides forward we've taken on our digital journey. The resulting improvements in speed of clinical handovers and accuracy of patient observations have been a real advantage during this period, giving our clinical frontline staff more time to care for patients. We signed a contract with System C back last April for 10 years, and so that coincides with a big ambition that we've got to take us from a pretty digitally immature hospital, to be honest, to one where we aspire to be the most digital hospital in England. And we're not just making that claim just because it sounds good, but we really believe that it is possible because of the things that we've already done so far, which gives a great indication of how willing our staff are to come on this journey with us. Introducing electronic observations was one of the first things that we did as part of the digital strategy.
It gives us the ability to see what's happening with patients in an instant, in a heartbeat, and to provide the response that that patient and individual needs.
E-observations has made a huge impact on our patient safety on Ashton Ward. It's helped to detect patients who are deteriorating much faster, helps us to escalate to doctors more faster as well.
Prior to the use of e-obs, you relied on the individual nurse to escalate appropriately, whereas now with e-obs, there is a guide and the message is there, a clear message of that escalation process.
So using the reports from the e-observations system allows us to use that within ward accreditation, our nurse sensitive indicators, see where each of our wards is performing. That forms itself naturally into dashboards that we look at from a divisional and a corporate and a board level. So it just makes the whole reporting process and the governance around the collection and the management of the deteriorating patient or patients in general so much easier.
Hot on the heels of electronic observations, we went towards care coordination and started to improve the way that communication happens between all members of the clinical body.
On our ward, we use it in particular for me to highlight to the senior nursing team which patients we'd like to self-pick from the urgent care setting. So I'll send the nurses a message saying please go and collect patient X from MAU and bring them up to our ward.
For the first time ever, we've been able to see handover from the multidisciplinary team in one place. So we have a doctor's profile giving the medical plan, the nursing profile giving the nursing care plan, and the therapist plan together. And it really does now seem that we can plan care in a much better holistic way.
One of the useful things about care coordination is the ability to take photographs. So I suppose that the way that's used them best is our diabetic foot ulcers. So we can take a picture on day 1 of admission and see how things progress through time and how they're responding to antibiotics and treatment.
The information that is provided through the handover functionality and eventually referrals, etc., will link back in to the EPR record. This provides us with a full handover audit trail that we can use to look back on patient care, particularly if there's been any incidents, any complaints, or just generally for improved communication for planning patient care.
We've got some amazing staff here at KGH, and one example is when we introduced the electronic CAS cards into ED in the height of winter. I mean, how amazing is that?
The patient notes are much more accurate because documentation is very important, and everything on the e-card has been put in systematically so that doctors are able to follow through to document without missing any steps.
It's very easy because we can click on the menu and then goes to GP information to see past medical history of the patient or to see the previous CAS cards of the patient.
This will never lose the patient's record, so we'll always have an electronic print somewhere, and then you can never going to lose what we did for the patient, and the information is there for everybody to see.
We've put a number of components in place, but that's really only the start. As we're moving towards that paperless record, the next 12 months has got some really exciting pieces. As we enter into a group model with Northampton, having an electronic patient record is really going to help to support patients wherever they're receiving services. We're also supporting the move to the Northamptonshire Care Record, and we'll be using care-centric to help support that. We see the benefits of moving to electronic patient record as so massive that we're going to continue at pace this coming year as we work towards being the most digital hospital in England.